Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing some Cuban chicken, Cuban Mojo chicken, and Cuban style black beans with white rice. So this is my first time actually making this recipe, but it seems pretty easy. This is my first time doing it, but it seems pretty easy, so we're gonna do it together. So I'm excited. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do, I already have my chicken thighs. Chicken thighs is what we're using. So the first thing we're gonna do, of course, is clean our chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna use some lemon juice. So let me go and get that. So lemon juice and vinegar, or lemon juice or vinegar, is usually what I use to clean my chicken. And the reason we use lemon juice and or vinegar is just to get all like the slimy, grimy residue off of our chicken, because our chicken is usually packaged. So we want to make sure that there are no like any grimy residue, any slimy residue on our chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into some water and like just let it sit for a little bit. And then once I do that, we can go ahead and cut up our vegetables, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And you know what? Actually, before we chop up our vegetables, I want to show you the ingredients that we're actually going to be using for our Mojo chicken, okay? So we have some smoked paprika, got some ground cumin, you have some oregano leaves, garlic, our cilantro, we have our lime, we have our orange juice, and we have our Carne Asada. I feel like I'm saying it completely wrong, but this seasoning is so good, especially when you're looking for like that authentic like Spanish, like Mexican, like the Spanish flavor, that authentic like Latin cuisine flavor. Like, I really recommend this. It's really good and it smells really good. Traditionally with the Cuban chicken, you'll just use salt, but just to give it a little razzle dazzle, I want to use this. So use that. All right, I got that going. So now I'm gonna go ahead and chop up our vegetables. So we have our bell pepper and have some onion. All right, y'all, we have cleaned our chicken, so we're gonna get ready to marinate it. So I have my olive oil, and I'm gonna use about 1/4 of that. Tease! If y'all hear any noise in the background, those are my kids playing. So, all right. Where was I? We're gonna take about 1/4 of our olive oil. We're just gonna drizzle it over our chicken thighs. Okay, so while we have our olive oil in, now we're gonna go ahead and do some orange juice. And it's about the same amount. You're gonna do about 1/4 of a cup with your orange juice. So go ahead and do that. And all of this is a part of making a nice marinade for our chicken, okay? So I'm gonna give that a little mix. I actually brought some fresh lime, but of course you can buy lime juice in a bottle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my lime in half, and then I'm just gonna squeeze out the lime juice that needs to go into my bowl. Okay, so I cut up my lime, so just gonna give that a nice squeeze. Of course, if you have a fancy lemon lime squeezer, you can use that. Okay. Right, we're gonna give that a good mix. So after we've mixed our wet ingredients, our lime juice, our orange juice, and our olive oil, we can go ahead and put in our seasonings, okay? And I'll have the description below with all the ingredients, the exact ingredients, but for me, when it comes to ingredients and recipes, I kind of like to eyeball it, kind of just put as much as I feel like should go on there. Okay, so my first seasoning was smoked paprika. So now I'm gonna do some ground cumin. And cumin is gonna give it a nice, warm, earthy type of flavor. So then we have oregano. I'll put that in there. I have to come back to that. I didn't know the top was off. Okay, now we have our fancy, authentic Mexican flavor blend. And this has like chilies and garlic and citrus and sea salt. So this is just that extra Mexican flavor, Spanish flavor. I just really like this seasoning. Like, this seasoning is really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there. And like I said, if you don't have this, of course you can just use salt. Salt and pepper. I'm gonna give a generous amount to that though. See if I can take the seal off of here. Didn't even realize I had the seal on. But this was already open. Oregano. Okay, we got all that mixed up. So it should look something like this. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sit this to the side. I'm gonna put it in the fridge, let it marinate for a little bit, and we're gonna get started on our black beans, okay? All right, now that we have our chicken marinated, we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven to bake. So you can use a dish to put your chicken in to bake, or you can use a baking sheet. I want to use my dish because I want the chicken to kind of marinate in the juices as it's cooking as well. So I'm going to go ahead and place it into my baking sheet. So after we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven for about 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. About 45 to 50 minutes at about 300 to 350. And I say that because it really depends on how your oven is, how hot it gets, that type of thing. So you kind of just want to eyeball it. Now also, any leftover juice marinade that you have, of course you can drizzle it over your chicken. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like in the pan. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven, and then we'll get started on our black beans, okay? Show you that. We have our onion, bell pepper, cilantro. And this is going to go in with our Cuban black beans. So we're going to go ahead and chop those up. Now, of course, I'm going to rinse it off first, and then I'm going to chop it up. Okay. So now that we're getting ready to do our black beans, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the vegetables. They're going to go in it, which is my green bell pepper and my onion. We also have some garlic that's going to go in. I have minced garlic, so I don't have to worry about cutting that or chopping that up. It's already chopped up for us. And to make the process a little easier, a little quicker, we're using canned black beans today. But if you want, of course, you can do dry black beans. Just may take a little bit longer to cook, of course. Okay, so now that we have our vegetables all chopped up, we're gonna go ahead and put them in a saucepan on medium heat with olive oil to let it kind of simmer, let it saute a little bit, and then we'll be able to add our black beans to it with our seasonings. So our seasonings and our spices. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pan to saute. So I have my beans, I have my vegetables going behind me. So I'm getting ready to show you how those look. And then we're gonna drain and add our beans. But before we do that, we're gonna add our seasonings to our vegetables. So of course we have our Spanish seasoning, and we have some oregano, have some cumin, and we're gonna use 1 bay leaf as well. And we're gonna put a little cilantro in there. And a little bit of black pepper, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let you guys see how our vegetables are cooking. Okay, so I'm getting ready to show you guys the vegetables, okay? Let me turn it over. So these are the vegetables. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my seasonings, my spices. Okay, there we go. It's already looking really good. Just gonna let that cook down. And it should be good to go. This is pretty easy. It looks really good. Looks really good. Checking our chicken. Okay. Okay, so we have our chicken going in the oven. We have our beans going. So the last thing we're going to do is our rice. And we're just simply going to follow the instructions and add maybe salt and pepper for flavor. But we're not going to overcomplicate white rice. White rice is white rice. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the stove, get this going, and we should be done as far as getting things going. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this rice on the stove. Okay guys, so here is the finished product. It smells so good. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more recipes, and let me know in the comments if you think this is something you guys will want to cook. It smells so good. I can't wait to try it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.